Why haven't many inventions originated in India even though Indians are considered smart? Welcome back to the channel everyone. Today we are diving into a question that has fascinated many people. If Indians are considered to be among the smartest people in the world, why haven't we seen more groundbreaking inventions coming out of India itself? With a population filled with brilliant minds and a strong tradition of education and scientific achievement, what factors have held back India from being an even bigger innovation hub in history? Let's explore the answers with a historical and cultural lens. India's ancient contributions. Before we even talk about the modern era, let's start with some historical context. Many people might not know that India has a rich tradition of scientific and mathematical achievements. Ancient India made incredible contributions to fields like mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. For example, the concept of zero, which is fundamental to mathematics, was first formalized in India by Aryabhatta and Brahmagupta. India was also a pioneer in metallurgy, producing high quality steel as early as 300 BCE. The famous iron pillar of Delhi, which has resisted corrosion for over 1,000 years, is a testament to India's advanced understanding of material science. And let's not forget Ayurveda, a sophisticated medical system that has existed for thousands of years and continues to be practiced today. So it's not like India has never invented anything. On the contrary, the country was a cradle of innovation for centuries. But what happened later that caused a dip in scientific and technological inventions? The colonial impact. One of the most significant reasons for this decline was colonialism. The British colonial rule, which lasted nearly 200 years, had a devastating impact on India's ability to innovate and develop. The British systematically drained India's wealth and resources and imposed a foreign educational system that prioritized producing bureaucrats over thinkers and innovators. The famous economic historian Angus Madison estimated that India accounted for about 23% of the world's GDP before colonial rule. By the time the British left in 1947, this figure had fallen to less than 4%. During this period, India's focus was shifted from self-sustaining development and innovation to serving the interests of the British Empire. Imagine being a society that was once rich in resources and scientific advancement, only to be stripped of its wealth and intellectual capital and made dependent. This stunted the natural progression of innovation in India. The brain drain phenomenon. Fast forward to the modern era and you will encounter another interesting challenge, the brain drain. This term refers to the emigration of highly skilled and educated individuals from India to other countries, particularly to the United States, Europe, and even Australia. Why does this happen? Well, it often boils down to better opportunities, higher salaries, and more supportive ecosystems for research and innovation abroad. Think about it. Some of the most famous Indian origin scientists and entrepreneurs made their breakthrough after leaving India. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Alphabet, Google's parent company, and Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, both pursued their careers in the US. Similarly, Dr. Venkatraman Ramakrishnan, who won a Nobel Prize in Chemistry, conducted his award-winning research in the UK. It's not that Indians aren't inventing things. It's that many of them do so outside of India, where the infrastructure, research grants, and corporate support are much stronger. Education system focused on exams, not innovation. Another major factor that comes up in discussions is India's education system. The traditional Indian educational model has often been criticized for emphasizing rote learning and exam performance over creativity and problem solving. The pressure to excel academically, often measured through standardized testing, means that students spend more time memorizing facts than experimenting with new ideas or inventing things. Let's consider an example. The Joint Entrance Examination (JEE) for engineering college is one of the toughest exams in the world. Students often spend years preparing for it, memorizing formulas and practicing problem solving under time constraints. But this focus on exams leaves little room for students to develop a mindset geared toward innovation and critical thinking. By contrast, educational system in places like the United States often encourage project-based learning, hands-on experiments, and entrepreneurial thinking from a young age. This difference in educational philosophy has a long-term impact on innovation. Lack of research funding and infrastructure. Research and development (R&D) are crucial for any country that wants to be a leader in innovation. Unfortunately, India's investment in R&D as a percentage of GDP is relatively low compared to countries like the United States, China, or even South Korea. The government and private sector have historically not allocated enough resources to support groundbreaking research. For instance, India's space program, ISRO, has accomplished remarkable feats like the Mars orbiter mission at a fraction of the cost of similar missions by other countries. But imagine the potential if ISRO had even more funding and resources. The achievements are impressive, but the overall infrastructure for large-scale research in other fields remains inadequate. Another problem is bureaucracy. Red tape and excessive regulations often slow down the approval process for research grants and patents, making it difficult for inventors to bring their ideas to life. Cultural attitudes toward risk and failure. Culturally, India has also had a complex relationship with risk and failure. In many Indian communities, failure is stigmatized and there is immense social pressure to play it safe. Parents often encourage their children to pursue stable careers like engineering, medicine, or government jobs rather than entrepreneurial or research oriented paths. This aversion to risk can be traced back to historical and economic factors. For a long time, job security was seen as a way to achieve social stability. But innovation requires taking risks and sometimes failing spectacularly. In contrast, Silicon Valley thrives on a culture where failing is seen as a badge of honor and a stepping stone to eventual success. The rise of modern Indian innovation. However, it's not all doom and gloom. In recent years, India has started to see a surge in innovation and entrepreneurial activity. The government has launched initiatives like Startup India to support budding entrepreneurs. The rise of IT hubs like Bengaluru has created ecosystems where tech startups can thrive. Companies like Flipkart, Zomato, and Byju's have not only become successful but have also inspired a new generation of Indian entrepreneurs. Moreover, the Indian diaspora has started giving back in the form of mentorship, investment, and knowledge transfer. Efforts are being made to reform the education system to encourage creativity and innovation from a young age. So, why haven't more inventions come from India despite the country being home to some of the smartest minds in the world? The answer lies in a complex interplay of historical setbacks, modern day challenges, and evolving opportunities. From the impact of colonialism to the brain drain and a rigid education system, several factors have played a role. But with the recent rise in startups and government support, there is hope that India will soon become a major global innovation hub. What do you think? Can India overcome these hurdles and reclaim its place as a global leader in innovation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more insights into history, culture and technology. Thanks for watching and see you next time.